Six Paths Technique. When somebody unlocks the Rinnegan, they don't just get stronger, they literally gain access to the Six Paths technique, the ultimate hacks created by the Sage of Six Paths himself. One of the flashiest paths is the Deva Path. With this, you can straight up control gravity, pushing and pulling people and objects like you're the main character in a sci-fi movie. This path is absolutely terrifying because it lets you manipulate the entire battlefield. You can suck everything toward you or blow it all away with a single move. That push is called Shinra Tensei, and the pull is Banshō Ten'in. Super stylish names, but don't get it twisted, these powers have cooldowns. If you could spam them non-stop, Pain would have ended the whole ninja world in 5 minutes. But the Deva Path doesn't stop there. It also comes with one of the most insane moves in the entire series, Chibaku Tensei. This technique creates a black sphere that drags in everything around it, earth, rocks, mountains, even living beings, and smashes it all together into a giant mass, basically forming a mini-planet on the spot. The destructive power is unreal, and it literally reshapes the landscape. We've seen Pain use Chibaku Tensei to try and trap Naruto. Sasuke pulled it off to imprison the tailed beasts, and even used it against Momoshiki. And going back to the legend himself, Hagoromo Otsutsuki used Chibaku Tensei to seal the Ten Tails, and the result of that technique is the actual moon in the Naruto world. Yeah, that's god-level stuff. Then we've got the Asura Path, which basically turns your body into a living weapon factory. The user can upgrade themselves with mechanical parts, extra arms, extra faces, rocket launchers, you name it. It's like if Iron Man went full nightmare mode, giving you both insane offense and defense in one terrifying package. Now the human path is straight up nightmare fuel. With just one grab, hand on your head or your chest, the user can instantly read your thoughts and rip your soul right out. It's insanely effective for gathering information, especially the secrets you'd never spill on your own. But yeah, spoiler alert, you don't survive the process. The trade-off is that in an actual fight, the human path isn't as flashy or destructive as the others. It's basically a tool for interrogation and execution, rather than battlefield domination. Then we've got the animal path, and this one turns the battlefield into a straight-up monster mash. The user can summon all kinds of giant animals and bizarre creatures. The point is, they can be killed and just brought right back. Immortal summons on demand. Unlike normal summoning, you don't need blood, contracts, or even hand signs. It's fast, it's effortless, and it's overwhelming. Nagato literally pulled out a whole damn zoo during battle. And these summons aren't just random animals. They've got chakra receivers embedded in their bodies, directly linking them to Nagato's Rinnegan. That means they basically fight as extensions of himself. So even though they're just summons, they hit ridiculously hard and become terrifying tools in combat. Finally, the Preta Path is where defense goes absolutely crazy. With this, the user can absorb chakra in any form, whether it's through direct contact or from incoming ninjutsu. Fireball? Gone. Giant water dragon? Completely useless. Preta Path just eats it all. It's primarily defensive, but the ability to render chakra-based techniques totally ineffective makes it insanely frustrating to fight against. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, Nagato showed just how broken the Preta Path really is. He absorbed chakra straight from Killer Bee, while Bee was in version 2 form, and the results were insane. That energy literally restored his entire body to a younger state, before it had been wrecked by the demonic statue of the Outer Path. His hair went from white back to fiery red, his body regained its youth, and even his leg injuries got healed. Killer Bee basically gave him an accidental spa day powered by chakra. Now, the Naraka Path is where things get both horrifying and insanely useful. It comes with 2 main abilities, interrogation and restoration, all powered by this freaky entity called the King of Hell. Picture a massive head rising from the ground, surrounded by purple flames, eyes blazing with the Rinnegan. Yeah, that's it. For interrogation, all the Naraka Path needs to do is touch you, and the King of Hell appears, paralyzes you on the spot, and the questioning begins. When you answer, it opens its mouth, unleashing these creepy tentacle-like arms that rip out your soul in the form of a giant tongue. Then comes judgment. If you lie or stay silent, it yanks your tongue out and devours it, ending you instantly. If you tell the truth, you survive, but you're left absolutely drained and barely holding on. The second ability is restoration, and it's honestly busted. The Naraka Path can use the King of Hell to swallow a damaged body whole. After some time inside, the body is spit back out fully repaired, like brand new, no matter how bad the injuries were. It's basically the ultimate reset button in battle. Outer Path. Now here's the twist. Despite the name Six Paths of Reincarnation, there's actually a seventh ability, the Outer Path. And this one gives the user control over life and death itself, a level of power that's almost unthinkable. With the Outer Path, those who wield the Rinnegan basically exist outside the boundaries of mortality. They can bring the dead back to life through the ultimate resurrection jutsu, Rinnegan Tensei. When this technique activates, the King of Hell rises once again, but this time it spits out the souls of the deceased, returning them to fully restored bodies. The limits of Rinnegan Tensei aren't totally clear, but we know it's godlike. Nagato used it to resurrect an entire village worth of people who had just died. The price, though, is insane. The strain shredded his body, drained his life force, turned his hair white, and left him frail. In the end, Nagato couldn't survive the technique himself, and it doesn't stop there. The Outer Path can also turn someone revived by impure world reincarnation into actual living flesh. This is how Obito brought Madara back to life. But while Madara's body returned to full life, his eyes instantly crumbled to dust. That forced him to hunt down the Rinnegan he had handed off earlier. Interestingly, Obito didn't even summon the King of Hell during this process, which hints that the mechanics of Rinnegan Tensei might not always work the same way. Even crazier? People resurrected with Rinnegan Tensei don't come back weak. They return with their chakra restored, sometimes at full peak strength. Kakashi, for example, didn't need hospital time after Nagato brought him back. He was literally able to carry Naruto, who was on the verge of collapsing, right after the battle with Pain. And Madara. He died as an old man but got revived in the body of his prime, ready to wage war again. The Outer Path is just so terrifying. It bends the rules of life and death, and when combined with everything else the Rinnegan can do, it cements the Eye as one of the most dangerously overpowered abilities in the entire Naruto world. On top of resurrection, the Outer Path also lets the user create these eerie black receivers. By channeling chakra into them, you can stab a target and completely lock them down. The binding is insanely strong, so strong it instantly paralyzes whoever gets hit. When Hashirama and Tobirama got impaled with those rods, they were literally stuck to the ground, unable to move a single muscle. All they could do was talk, and that was it. Total shutdown. But that's not all. The Rinnegan also lets you summon the demonic statue of the Outer Path, or Gedo Mazo. This massive monster can be used both for combat and for sealing away the tailed beasts. Its chakra chains alone have absurd restraining power, capable of holding down even the strongest opponents. One of the scariest aspects of the Outer Path is its ability to control corpses or Edo Tensei bodies. By implanting black receivers into them, the user can basically turn those bodies into remote-controlled puppets. And yeah, they all share the Rinnegan's vision, linking their sight directly back to the user. That's how Nagato created the infamous Six Paths of Pain, each body acting as an extension of himself. Now let me clear up a big point of confusion here. In theory, and I want to stress, in theory, any Rinnegan wielder should be able to use all Six Paths abilities directly. We actually saw Nagato do this himself when he was revived by Edo Tensei during the Fourth Great Ninja War. But while he was alive, he couldn't fight in person because his legs were ruined after his battle with Hanzo. That's why he relied on the Outer Path to control 6 corpses, assigning each of them one of the Six Paths' powers. Obito Uchiha did something similar, but took it to the next level. Instead of just corpses, he used the actual Jinchuriki of the tailed beasts as his puppets. Each one still had access to their tailed beast chakra and abilities, making Obito's version of the Six Paths arguably even more dangerous. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, Hagoromo Otsutsuki himself showed just how insane the Outer Path really is. He summoned the souls of the deceased Kage straight from the Pure Land, bringing them back to help guide Team 7 and the tailed beasts in the fight against Kaguya. Now, these weren't physical resurrections. The Kage appeared as flickering masses of chakra, but they still retained their personalities, memories, and will. This proves that the outer path can access and communicate directly with the essence of the dead. But nothing this powerful comes without limits. Once the technique ends, those summoned souls begin to fade away, slowly dissolving until they vanish completely. Hagoromo even demonstrated another terrifying application of the outer path. He was able to cancel the impure world reincarnation, freeing Edo Tensei souls from their vessels and sending them back to the Pure Land. Think about that. He could override one of the most forbidden jutsu in existence with the outer path alone. This is why the outer path stands as something beyond the normal cycle of reincarnation. It bends the rules of existence itself, controlling life, death, and souls, while also wielding the power to dominate even the tailed beasts. It's the ultimate reminder of why the Rinnegan is one of the most dangerously overpowered abilities in the entire Naruto universe. Now everyone, I just wanted to take a moment to give a huge shout out to all of you, my incredible supporters. Your love and encouragement mean so much to me. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me. Let's continue to grow together and make amazing memories. You all rock! And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much. Now, Tengai Shinsei. Now this one is absolute madness. Madara pulled it out during the Fourth Great Ninja War when he came back with Edo Tensei, and honestly, it's one of the most jaw-dropping flexes in the entire series. He combines the raw muscle of Susanoo with the hacks power of the Rinnegan, weaving 3 seals between himself and his giant armor. The result? A meteor. No, scratch that. A massive rock straight from the upper atmosphere, plummeting down like divine punishment. And Madara, being Madara, didn't stop at one. When the first meteor got intercepted, he straight up dropped another one on top of it, guaranteeing total destruction. The impact was so insane, it wiped out a huge chunk of the 4th Division, sent shockwaves across nations, and completely obliterated his own Susanoo. But since he was already dead, who cares? Pure Madara logic. Limbo, border jail. Now we get to one of Madara's most busted abilities. Limbo, border jail. With the Rinnegan, Madara can spawn a shadow of himself in Limbo, an invisible parallel world that sits right on top of the real one. And here's the busted part. Nobody can see it. Nobody can sense it. When Madara has both Rinnegan, that number shoots up to 4 Limbo clones at once. Each one of these shadows is basically a full-powered Madara copy, rocking all his jutsu and all his abilities. That's like fighting Madara, while 4 ghost Madaras are beating you up from every direction. These invisible clones can attack, defend, and even shield Madara himself, which turns him into an absolute fortress. To most opponents, it looks like Madara is untouchable, because every hit is blocked by something they can't even perceive. But even hacks like Limbo come with rules. Each shadow only lasts for a set amount of time before snapping back into Madara, and he's got a cooldown window before he can pop them out again. So yeah, the ability is broken, but it's not totally spammable. Still, the real weakness only shows up against those with 6 paths chakra. Sasuke, with his Rinnegan, could actually see the Limbo shadows, while Naruto, in his 6-path Sage mode, could feel them moving around. So, to everyone else, Madara was literally untouchable. But to Naruto and Sasuke, the invisible wall finally had cracks. Ame-no-Teijikara. Alright, now we're getting into some straight-up busted space-time hacks. Sasuke's Rinnegan comes loaded with Ame-no-Teijikara, and this thing is literally a cheat code. With just his left eye, Sasuke can swap himself with anything or anyone in range. We're talking instant position swaps. 1 second you're about to get hit, the next you're behind your enemy sipping tea. He even uses it with objects, like swapping with his sword to set up nasty traps. And let's not forget that time he teleported Madara freaking Uchiha right into a sealing attempt with Naruto. Savage. This move is also Sasuke's personal get-out-of-jail-free card. Bind him? No, he'll just switch places and leave you tied up instead. Stab him with a weapon? He can literally yeet that weapon out of his body. He doesn't even need direct line of sight, but it doesn't stop there. He can also manipulate other people or objects around him. Need a weapon in hand? Boom, summoned. Want to send a Chidori across the map? Easy. He'll time the swap so the attack lands guaranteed, pulling you right into his strike like some anime pro wrestler with cosmic powers. The only catch is that you gotta be in range, and if you're cracked enough, you might dodge before it kicks in. Of course, balance has to exist, kinda. When he first awakened his Rinnegan, overusing Amenoteji drained him fast. He even bled from the eye like every edgy Uchiha tradition demands. Later on, even with his Rinnegan power nerfed from constant use, Sasuke still spammed it like a pro. Dude basically turned short-range teleportation into his personal martial art. Yomotsu Hirasaka. Now this right here is one of those god-tier space-time jutsu, literally the origin of all teleportation hacks in Naruto. Urashiki Otsutsuki is rocking 2 different Rinnegan, and with his red Tomoe Rinnegan, he busts out Yomotsu Hirasaka. This move basically lets him rip open space itself and step through to wherever he wants. Doesn't matter if it's across the battlefield or straight into another dimension, dude's got options. But Urashiki's not even the only one who pulls this off. Kaguya, the literal final boss of Naruto, has it too. She doesn't use a regular Rinnegan, she's got the Rinne Sharingan, that insane hybrid of Rinnegan and Sharingan. And with that, she turned Yomotsu Hirasaka into a nightmare weapon. In her fight against Team 7, she was spamming portals left and right, warping all over the place. 1 second she's in front of you, the next she's behind you, basically playing 4D chess while Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura are trying to keep up. She even used it to switch entire dimensions mid-battle, forcing Team 7 to constantly adjust to new environments. Imagine fighting lava 1 second, then an icy wasteland the next. Yeah, it's brutal. And the versatility doesn't stop there. Kaguya could send just parts of her body through a portal. She'd stick an arm through, grab someone, and yoink them into another dimension like it was nothing. That's how she split up Team 7, scattering them and wrecking their teamwork. Honestly, if Obito's Kamui didn't counter Yomotsu Hirasaka, Team 7 would have been cooked. Obito's hacks were the only reason they even had a shot against her. Origami replacement technique. Arashiki's got some wild tricks, and this one is straight up flashy. Before anyone can land a hit on him, he fires up that Tomoless Rinnegan, glowing bright blue, and then, dude's body just disappears. No smoke, no drama. Instead, he leaves behind 10 glowing red paper cranes, fluttering down all pretty before vanishing into thin air. And here's the kicker. The moment he pulls this off, his chakra signature goes totally dark, like you can't sense him at all. It's basically a cracked version of the classic body replacement technique, except instead of swapping with a boring log, Urashiki's out here flexing with glowing origami. Stylish and deadly. With this move, he can dodge attacks, dip out unnoticed, or just mess with his enemies in the most disrespectful way possible. Takami Musubi no Kami. Momoshiki's got this busted Rinnegan hack going on. With the one in his right hand, he just casually absorbs enemy jutsu like it's nothing. Fireballs, Rasengans, you name it, straight into storage. Then, with the left hand, he spits it right back out, but on steroids. Thanks to those chakra pills he munches on, he can boost the power however many times he wants, double, triple, infinite multipliers if he feels like flexing. And in the anime, after he absorbs Kinshiki, those golden Rinnegan of his, yeah, they flip red when he uses this move. Basically, it's Momoshiki saying, "Your jutsu is mine now, and it just got an upgrade you can't handle." Temporal rewind. Temporal rewind is basically some straight-up cheat code stuff. The user pops their Rinnegan, it glows blue, and boom, they rewind a few seconds into the past. On the surface, it looks like a simple dodge tool, almost like teleporting right before the hit lands. But here's the crazy part. The more you spam this ability, the more it turns into straight clairvoyance. You literally start stacking knowledge of the near future, letting you counter every move with surgical precision. But, of course, because while you're rewinding, you're also experiencing extra time compared to everyone else. That means if you're stuck in a deadly situation, you're basically cooking yourself in it for longer than anyone around you. It's godlike for counters, but the risk is nasty, like bending time itself is burning through your lifespan. Other Rinnegan hacks. But wait, there's so much more. The Rinnegan can do all sorts of crazy extras. For starters, it can see the chakra flow inside someone's body, kinda like the Byakugan. Madara flexed this when he checked out Might Guy's chakra during his 8 Gates rampage. It can also see through walls and barriers. Pain casually spotted the sensory barrier around the leaf before his attack, and it didn't even slow him down. On top of all that, the Rinnegan lets you master any ninjutsu with ease, control all 5 basic nature transformations, and it's the only dojutsu that can fully decode the Sage of Six Paths stone tablet. Basically, if you've got Rinnegan, you're walking around with the ultimate ninja cheat code. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.